Hello everyone, welcome to this session on easy way to learn machine learning. Today in this session, I'll be taking you through various methods of learning machine learning, right? And understanding how you can go ahead and make use of your time in the best way possible to start learning machine learning. Now, it can be a daunting task at first, but I'll make it easy for you today in this session. So let's get started, guys. So guys, the agenda for this session is going to be fourfold. So first of all, I'm going to tell you what are the type of problems that you can encounter in machine learning and how do you classify them as to how to solve it, right? Or what should be a method towards how to, approach towards a machine learning problem. Second thing is I will be talking about some of the popular algorithms that you should learn first, then you should go for other algorithms that are there in machine learning. Now these popular algorithms, I will not be showing you any hands-on for these, right? That is actually planned for the later sessions today, which are going to be at 6 o'clock and 8:30 p.m. Right. So more on that I'll be telling you in a little while, but then I'll be talking about some popular algorithms. Then I'll be talking about some of the programming languages that you should focus on if your aim is to become a machine learning engineer. And finally, I'll be telling you how you can go basically step by step and what you should learn first and what you should learn later. Right now, guys, I have some people on webinar. Now, people on webinar, they can ask me questions on the chat and I'll be answering it on the go. Then I also have some people who are watching this on YouTube. So guys who are watching this on YouTube, you can just comment it down in the chat section and I'll be reading out the chats, or my team is here to help me out, who will be answering the chat. And that's how we'll be taking this session further. All right. Now, before I start, guys, if there's any question from the webinar side, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer all your queries. Any questions, guys? All right, so I can see that Pavna is saying when it will start. So Pavna, we've just started. And Anurag has introduced himself. So hi Anurag, how are you? So guys, we're going to start now. So like I said, if you have any questions, you can just put it in the question box and I'll be happy to read it out and answer those queries for you. All right. With that said, if everything is clear, let's go ahead and start the session with the first topic, which are basically the different types of problems that you can encounter while you're working in machine learning. Right now, guys, when you think about it, the problems can only be of certain types. When you're working with machine learning, you basically want to know these kind of problems. It'll either be, the problem would be like whether is it A or B. That basically means whether that problem is asking you, is it hot or cold, is it day or night, right? If these kind of problems are encountered or are supposed to be solved by you in machine learning, you don't have to think about it. You can simply go ahead and apply classification algorithms over there in that particular case. Okay, so remember, whenever you have to classify between two things, right? Whether it's yes or no, whether it's right or wrong. It could be multifold as well. I mean, it does not have to be a binomial situation. There can be 3 classes as well or 4 classes as well. So whenever you have to classify the answers to the problem that you are trying to solve using machine learning, it will be solved using classification algorithms. That said, then the second kind of problem, the second kind of question that you can get in machine learning is this weird? When I say is this weird, what you're trying to know is, let's say you have a data of about 10,000 customers, and what you have is, what you have their pattern of purchasing. You have their patterns of how they basically towards the month end, do they buy more, or towards the starting, do they buy more, right? So what you need to do is, you want to figure out that what is the customer pattern, how can I classify customers as buying, not buying, etc. But before that, you need to understand if all the customers are following the same pattern or not, right? So whenever you have to find a pattern in a particular problem, right, then those kind of problems would be solved using anomaly detection algorithms, right? So we have discussed 2 problems till now. First is, if you want to classify the output, then you will have to use classification algorithms. If you want to find patterns in a particular data set, then you will be using anomaly detection algorithms. Now, the third kind of problems that you might deal with is when you have to calculate something, right? For example, what will be the number of sales for my company the next month, right? Or how many people do I have to hire to get this job done in 20 days? So whenever there is number crunching that you have to do, in that case, you will always be using regression algorithms. Okay. Now, I'm not telling you right now what these algorithms are. I'm just telling you based on the problem how you can decide which algorithm to use. Okay. Now, the fourth kind of problem that you can basically see is how is this organized, right? So let's say you want to see, you have a data set, and you want to see that how many of these people are interested in buying your course and how many people are not, right? So if it is interested and not interested, right, and you have to classify them and you have the required parameters, it will be a classification algorithm, right? But let's say you don't know about you don't have any input about whether they are interested or not interested, and do not have any kind of data which can basically tell you whether they actually will be interested or not. So what you need to do is you want to see if these customers have something in common in them, right? So that you can actually decide as to what parameters you can choose in order to basically then decide whether these customers are interested or not, right? So whenever you do not know what to do with the data set, but you still want to find out whether some customers are related to each other in their behavioral events that they have done on a particular product, in that particular case, you use the clustering algorithm. Okay. Now this will be more clear to you when you read more about these algorithms, but it is very important. So the first step of becoming a machine learning engineer is when you see the problem and you understand, okay, so this is how I'm going to solve this problem, or this is the algorithm which is going to help me solve this problem. So this particular pattern or this particular questions are help you going to answer these kind of things, wherein you will understand which algorithm to use when, right? Now, the fifth kind of question that can be given to you is, what should I do next? Which basically means when you have problems like this, when your stakeholders of your company will come and they will say, we have seen 400% growth in the last 1 year, right? Now, I want to continue that. So what steps should I take next in order to, continue my streak in my business? So these kind of questions are basically addressed by using reinforcement algorithms, right? Now, more on these we will be talking about once we reach these algorithms, but this is a gist of the different kind of algorithms that you have to choose whenever you get a certain kind of problem, and the problem is listed over here. Now, what you can do is you can pause this video if you want. You can take a screenshot of the slide and you can keep it somewhere safe so that you can always refer to these, right? So because this is going to be your master plan as to how to choose algorithms. Okay. Having said that, now let's move on and talk about some popular algorithms. So now that I've told you how you can decide how to solve problems by choosing algorithms, so you now know, okay, so if I have to do number crunching, I have to use regression algorithms. If I have to do classification, I have to do classification algorithms. But you do not know these algorithms yet, and I do understand that. And that is for you to understand in the next session, which is basically going to be on machine learning algorithms. But for now, you've understood that, okay, based on the problems, which algorithm to choose. Now let me go ahead and also classify some more algorithms for you so that you know, okay, so these are the algorithms that I have to learn first when I'm starting my journey as a machine learning engineer. So guys, there are mainly two types of algorithms in data science that you would be knowing, and even in machine learning as well. So machine learning is basically a subset of data science. So in machine learning, there are two kind of problems that you solve, right? You solve either a supervised problem, or what you solve is an unsupervised problem, right? Now, what is supervised and what is unsupervised problem, right? So supervised problem is basically when you have the output For example, let's say you're dealing with a data set, right? Now that data set is about, let's assume, uh, it gives you the specifications of a car, and then it tells you which car it is. Now, if you take the specification of the car and then you find out what car it is, if it is giving you the output of the car, let's say it tells you that it is of so much cc, it is of this color, and it is having a windshield which is of the size of this dimension, the body size of this dimension, and the car model is, let's say, a Ford GT, right? So if it is giving you the output of that car, then you have to specify I have to choose, the car model which has been specified. Okay, so this kind of problem is called the supervised problem algorithm, where you're giving the computer the question and you're giving him the answer as well, right? So you're telling the computer, if these kind of specifications come in, this is the answer that you have to choose, right? So this kind of algorithms are called supervised learning algorithms. Okay, so when you have the input and output in the data, right, it will be called supervised algorithm. And some examples of supervised algorithms are linear regression, then you have logistic regression, then you have decision trees, right, then you have random forest, then you have neighbors. So these are all examples of supervised algorithms. Next, you have something called as unsupervised algorithms. Now this is the opposite of what you have in supervised. In this case, you do not have the output, you just have the input. All right, so taking the same example forward, I will be giving you the specifications of the car, but I'm not telling you which car it is, right? So your computer will then try to find patterns, will then try to cluster, the cars in some manner, right? And then once it gives you an output, it will basically, combine similar type of cars, and it will say, I don't know what car it is, but I feel that out of the 100 cars that you gave me, 20 cars are similar to each other, right? The other 20 cars are similar to each other, so it will cluster them accordingly. And then all you have to do is you can just label the clusters, and then your machine will learn. So okay, if this is the kind of specification which is coming in, it is basically labeled as what you have given it as an input. So these kind of problems are called unsupervised problems, and the way you solve it is using the unsupervised algorithms, right? So again, in this you do not have the output to the data. It is an unlabeled data set. What you do have is just the input. All right, so in this case, the popular algorithms in unsupervised algorithms are k-means clustering, and then you have something called as a priori algorithm. So more on this we will be discussing in the further sessions that we have at 6 p.m. today, right? But this was about a little brief about the popular algorithms that are there in supervised, that are there in machine learning, and also, I've told you how you can choose algorithms based on questions. Now let's go ahead and talk about the different programming languages, that you should learn. But before we do that, I will just like to summarize what we have done so far. Right. So what we have learned till now is, by looking at the question, how can we decide which family of algorithms do we have to use? And then I've told you the different types of problem solving in machine learning based on data set, that is supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Okay. Now what I'm going to tell you is how, when you have to implement these algorithms, what are the popular languages that a machine learning engineer uses, right? So the popular languages that are being used by machine learning engineers are Python and R. Now there can be more languages as well. You have Golang as well, which is basically getting more and more popular these days. But still, if you talk about the top two languages which are asked in every job description when you're applying for a machine learning profile, it's Python and R. Okay. Now, which language to learn? It's upon you. If you talk about R is a very simple language to learn. If you talk about Python, Python might be a little harder than R, but at the same time, Python has a lot of applications. right? So if you learn Python, you can use it in machine learning, you can use it in web development as well, you can use it in a lot of other things, right? So my personal suggestion to you would be, if you're starting out, if you don't have experience in any of these two languages, I would recommend you to go with Python, right? But let's say you have worked a little bit on R and you want to continue that, even that is fine, right? Because our aim first is to learn the algorithms. Once we have learned the algorithms, once we know their implementation, learning any other language and implementing it over there would be the same set of steps. So there's no problem over there. Okay, now let me go ahead and talk about the learning path. Let me talk about how you can go ahead and prepare yourself for the skills that I've mentioned, right? So first of all, guys, you will have to learn a programming language, like I said. So it could either be Python or R, right? Second thing that you have to do is you have to learn algorithms. Now, algorithms also comes with a certain type of mathematics with it, right? So you will also have to get into that. But that actually you can do later. First, you can learn the implementation of the algorithms, how they are working internally is a little bit advanced, so you can do that later. My recommendation to you would be, maths can come later. First, let's learn how to implement the algorithms, how to solve problems, and then maths can come, right? So don't focus on maths at the very first time when you are starting out with machine learning. First, learn how to implement it, how to find our solutions, and then when you have to tweak models, when you have to increase accuracy, at that time your knowledge on mathematics will come in handy. Okay, the third thing is build a lot of projects. There are a lot of projects available online, right? Practice them out, submit those solutions. So there's a website called Kaggle. Visit that website. They always have some of the other championship running, so you can join that championship. You can go ahead and solve problems over there. You can compete with other people who are machine learning enthusiasts, and then get your job done, right? Fourth thing is involve yourself in a lot of hackathons. So what happens is, when you learn something, it becomes easy as and when time goes by, right? But when you enroll yourself into hackathons, you're given a very challenging problem every now and then, and what that challenging problem does is it increases your scope of thinking, it increases your scope of knowledge, and at the same time you could do a good networking also with the people that you are competing with, right? So that is again a very good way to incentivize yourself to learn more. And finally, once you have done hackathons, once you're very confident about the skills that you have gathered, get yourself certified. So why get yourself certified? Because it's not necessary to get certified, but at the same time, if you get certified, you get recognized very quickly, right? So when you're applying for job and there are 10 candidates who are machine learning engineers who have some experience in machine learning, and let's assume all the 10 are very good, but if you have a certification with you in your resume, you will be given the first chance to attend for the interview rather than the other 9 people who do not have the certification. So that again is a good thing. It increases your chance of giving more interviews. It will not guarantee you a job, but like I said, it will increase your chance of getting the interview first, right? So getting certified is also very important. And finally, apply for jobs, right? So I would suggest apply for jobs not at the end stage. Start applying for jobs the moment you start learning machine learning, right? Why? Because the point is not to get a job, but the point is how to see what kind of questions your recruiters are actually asking. And when you give the first 50 or 60 interviews, and you might think, what, 50 and 60 interviews? Yes, that is the number of interviews you should give before you start to think that, what, this is not working out. So at least 50 or 60 interviews if you have not given, right? You should not give up. The first 60 interviews are just to test out or just to know how the industry is functioning, right? The next 30 or 40 interviews will be for your practice, because in the first 50 or 60, I think around a month and a half will go, right? And by that time, you will be up with a lot of skills that are supposed to be learned, right? And after that, the interviews that you give, keep practicing, keep a note of all the questions that the interviews are asking, because most of the time most of the companies ask the same type of questions for a certain profile, right? So once you get a hang of what kind of questions are being asked, it'll be very easy for you to crack interviews. So that again is something that you have to take care of, right, while you're applying for jobs. So guys, this is the learning path. This is how you should start your journey as a machine learning engineer. Moving forward, now you can always invest your time with us as an e-learning company as well. I mean, the reason we exist is to enable professionals like you or students like you who do not have the required either incentive to learn, or let's say the time to learn because of your professional commitments, right? So what we have done at Intellipaat is we have partnered up with a top machine learning engineers and data scientists in the industry. So these people, they teach with us, and we have curated a course after looking at several job descriptions in the market and have come up with a curriculum which should help you get a job. They are very job specific courses. They will be enabling you with skills which will basically help you to become a machine learning or a data science engineer, right? So you can invest with us if you are interested, or if you want to go ahead and learn more free contents, you can actually visit our YouTube channel where we have a lot of videos on machine learning, on different algorithms. You can visit that. You can also check out our blogs. We have a lot of blogs that we have written on data science, on machine learning, on AI. So if you're interested, you can read those as well, right? We also have something called as our Intellipaat Academy. So what is Intellipaat Academy? Let me give you a brief in a moment. So when you go to our website, just type in the URL intellipaat.com/academy, right? So you will come to this page, and the Academy page is where we offer a lot of free courses. Okay, so I just spelled it wrong. It's intellipaat.com/academy. Now, here we have a lot of free courses that you can go with, you can learn, right? And if you think that this is the kind of quality of training that you want, you can go ahead and enroll with us. Okay, so you can enroll in our free courses, see the way we teach, and then decide if going with us is the right decision or not. But before you do that, I would still suggest you do your research. I would suggest you to go through the free course. At the same time, today is a machine learning day in Intellipaat. So what we have done is we have scheduled webinars for you, right? So the first webinar right now is easy way to learn machine learning. The next two webinars are going to be on commonly used machine learning algorithms and machine learning project and Python machine learning, right? So these are the things that we are basically going to do at 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. today. So if you're interested in asking me live questions, you can register this yourself on the webinar. We will be conducting this on YouTube as well. But at the same time, on YouTube, you will not get that kind of an interactivity if you have any technical doubts which you want to clear with me. So you can just register for this webinar. You can ask me questions, and I'd be happy to answer all your queries. Okay, so the link is intellipaat.com/academy/webinars. And if some of you are interested to straight go ahead with my machine learning course, you can just type in machine uh, learning. Just type in this, and this will give you a set of courses that we offer. What you have to go on is machine learning course online and certification. So just go over there. You'll find all the course content that we are going to teach you in this class, right? So all these algorithms is something that we're going to teach you as a part of a free training. So sorry, as a part of a premium training. And apart from this, we also give you 24/7 support and lifetime access, which basically means, let's say, with your busy schedule, you are not able to, you've joined the course, but you're not able to attend a certain weekends class because of your work commitments or personal commitments. So in that case, what we give in lifetime access is you can always reschedule your class to another batch of your convenient time, and then again start your classes. And this is available for lifetime, right? And the other good thing that we offer is 24/7 support, which basically gives you technical assistance at any time that you want throughout the day. That basically means, let's say, you're done with the class with the instructor. Now you are doing your homework, and while doing your homework you got some doubt. So you can just mail it to us at support@intellipaat.com, and we will reply to you at the earliest within. So our SLA is 24 hours. So we reply within 24 hours and we get your doubt resolved. Okay, so this is also something that we offer. All right. Now, with that said, guys, I think uh, a lot of you might be excited about the webinars that we have today. So, if you are interested, you can go ahead and register for those webinars. And if some of you are interested in buying a premium course, you can just enter this promo code YouTube30, and you'll get a flat 30% off on all the courses that we have. All right. So, with that said, guys, I'd like to take a lead from you all. So these are the numbers. If you're interested, you can call on these numbers to us, and we will be, assisting you with any kind of questions. It could be career-related questions. It could be a technical question that you have, that you might have before you want to enroll for the course. So anything and everything we answer on these numbers. So you can just call us, or you can also mail us at sales@intellipaat.com. Okay. So with that said, guys, I would like to take a leave from you all. But if there are any questions, I would like to answer those as well. So I can see that Rohan is asking me, what is the syllabus of instructor online class? So Rohit, what I'll do is I'll give you this course link, right? On this course link, what you have to do is you have to go to course content, and this is what the syllabus is for the class. Okay, so you can just visit this link, and that should help you out. So I'll just put it in the chat window, or you can also visit Intellipaat.com and you can actually see this course. It's called Machine Learning Course Online and Certification. And I think it should be helpful to you. Okay. So any other questions, guys, any other things that I can answer, I will be happy to answer. And if not, let's conclude today's session. And I will see you at 6 p.m. for the next machine learning class. Any questions, guys? So Rutuj is saying, in what way machine learning is useful in pharmacy? So Rutuj, pharmacy basically, I'm not sure exactly about the pharmacy domain, but yes, I know that machine learning is used in pharmacy. Let's say, for example, uh, you have a data set of all the drugs which have cured several diseases which had certain symptoms. Now there are some new symptoms that you have found, and you want to see which which available drugs can help you out in curing those symptoms. So in this case, again, machine learning can be used. What I'll do is I'll basically research more on this, and probably in the 6 p.m. session you can again ask me this question, and probably I'll have more inputs to you about how you can actually use machine learning in pharmacy. So Anurag is saying, sir, will there be any hands-on course on machine learning? So Anurag, the webinar that we are going to have on 6 p.m. today will include hands-on, and at the same time, our premium course is full of hands-on, full of case studies, full of production problems that you would have to solve while you're in, when you become a machine learning engineer. So we simulate that in our course as well. So if you're interested, you can enroll into it and find, about it more. Rudra saying, uses of machine learning in pharmacy. I just answered Rutuj. Okay, so Mary is saying, is there any prerequisite for this course? So, very good question. So, what we do, Mary, in this course is we start off by giving you an intro to machine learning, right? So, as a prerequisite, we would basically want you to learn or have a little knowledge about statistics, right? And if you actually go to FAQs, you will find your question answered over here. Uh, okay, it's not here, but statistics is something that you might want to learn, but it is not basically necessary. But like I said in the course or in the session today, that Maths is something that you can get into later. First thing that you need to understand is how to implement machine learning, right? So this is the machine learning course where we expect you to know a little bit about programming languages and a little bit about the statistics part of data science. But let's say you want to start afresh, what we also do is we offer a master program in data science where we cover all the prerequisites as well. So whether it be the statistics that you're talking about, whether it be any kind of other prerequisite, everything is covered in this course. So as you can see over here, we offer you data science with R. So we are not only going to teach you data science in one language, but we'll be teaching you data science with machine learning in two different languages, that is Python and R. At the same time, we also include the prerequisite about statistics that you need to learn, so that will be taught to you by an instructor. All the programming basics, from how to print a hello world statement to conditional statements to loops, is also covered in this course. So if you're interested, you can also go ahead and enroll yourself in this master training program, which will not only cater to the prerequisites but also cater in depth about everything that can be asked to you when you're applying for senior profiles as a data scientist or a machine learning engineer. Okay, so that would be the set of prerequisites. Now Mari is saying what kind of certification. So Mari, certification also, if you enroll for the premium course, you will be getting a certification. So we have partnered up in this particular master's program. We have partnered up with Microsoft, so you get a certification from Microsoft that we give it to you, right? And at the same time, we also give you a certification from Intellipaat side when you're enrolling for this course, right? So if you're interested, you can actually go ahead and enroll, and these would be the certifications which would be made available to you. Rahul is saying, after taking the course, can I get placed in Intellipaat itself? Well, Rahul, we do have some data scientists in the company, right? But I think your aim should be about not only Intellipaat, but any company out there who is looking for machine learning and data science engineers. And what we do is we also give you job assistance as a part of our course, which basically will help you to build your resume and also prepare you with mock interviews, which are going to be asked to you when you apply for jobs. So that is again something that we help you out with once you are done with the training. Okay. So any more questions, guys? Anything else that I can answer for you? I'd be happy to answer. If not, we will conclude today's session. Any other questions? Okay, so Dr. Kwabina says yes. So you can just let me know what your question is, and I'd be happy to answer it for you. Any kind of question that you have? So Dr. Kwabena is saying, how long will it take to become proficient in machine learning? So it all depends on your zeal to learn. Let's say you are full on into learning machine learning every day. If you can invest around 2-3 hours, I think for the first 3 months you will get an idea about solving 50 to 60% of all the kind of problems which a machine learning engineer faces, right? After the first 3 months, the first 3 months would be your training as well. We will be training you. We will be giving you assignments to solve, etc. Post 3 months would be the time when you will have to apply for hackathons. You will have to build projects. There are a lot of projects available on the internet. You will have to go in and ahead and attempt that. So if you attempt that, I think that will also help you out in helping in building up your skills as a machine learning engineer. So I would say around 6 to 8 months would be the time that it will take you to become around 80% proficient as a person who is working in machine learning right now. The rest 20% will come to you when you start working with the company that you will get placed with, and it's a continuous growth process. as and when you will be learning, you will be learning more. So I will not say there is any complete machine learning engineer. Even a guy who has been working in the machine learning field since the past 5 or 6 years, he learns everything every day, something new about machine learning. So it's a vast field. But like I said, the first 6 to 8 months should be enough for you to actually go ahead and then apply for senior profiles as a machine learning engineer. So Dr. Bobin is saying it seems daunting. Well, it does, sir. If you are planning to learn it alone, it might be daunting at first, but that is why we over here as e-learning companies are there to help you out, right? Because we connect you with the right people, with the people who are already machine learning engineers, and with the lifetime access that you have with the course, you can interact as many time as you want, with our support team, with our instructors, and then get to know about where you are lacking to basically get these skills. Now, sir, you will know that nothing is taught in colleges. So even people who are data scientists today or machine learning engineers today, it was not taught to them in the colleges. It's only after they started working, they started learning about machine learning or data science, and then they evolved themselves into applying for a certain profile, such as machine learning or data science. So it's not something which is impossible. It requires commitment from your side. I'll not lie to you, it's not easy as well, right? So you will have to invest yourself, and if you're really interested in this field, you will find success at the end of the road. I mean, after 4 months or so, you will be able to crack interviews, and if you have a certain salary range in mind that you want to crack, that will take around 6 to 8 months of time. So that would be my suggestion to you. So Rohan is saying, will this course make me ready to get jobs? So yes, Rohan, that is the intent of this course. The intent of this course is to make you job ready, right? So all these skills that we are going to teach you, they are not textbook skills. These are all the things which are basically asked to you in the job description of a certain specific profile, right? So rest assured, this is the course that is basically going to make you job ready, if that is what you're saying. All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything that I can help you out with? If not, we'll conclude this session. All right. So since there are no more questions, guys, I'd like to take a leave from you all. Do be available at 6 p.m. because that is when we are going to have our second webinar. All right. So with that said, guys, I'll have to take a leave from you all. I thank you all for joining in today. I hope you guys have learned something new. I'll see you in the next class. Have a great day ahead, and goodbye.